Namaskar, hello and welcome to Sansad TV. I'm Teena Jha and you're watching Perspective, the show where we try and bring before you a 360-degree view on a subject of current significance to India and to the world. Today we are going to talk about organic farming in India. Tribal district of Dang in eastern Gujarat will soon be declared as 100% organic farming district. According to the State Agriculture Department, farmers in the district have adopted farming techniques that are fertilizer and pesticide free. Out of nearly 58,000 hectares under cultivation in the district, at least 70% to 80% land is covered under traditional farming practices that do not require chemical fertilizers and pesticides. The state government has taken steps to encourage farmers to avoid the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides on the entire cultivable area and is also providing a subsidy of 10,000 rupees per hectare for a maximum of 2 hectares to each farmer in the district for adopting organic farming practices. And the scheme is also being extended to farmers in Valsad and Navsari districts to encourage 100% organic farming practice under the state's organic farming policy that was introduced in 2015. Among other states, Madhya Pradesh has covered largest area under organic certification, followed by Rajasthan, then Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, also the hill state of Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and the southern state of Karnataka. And Sikkim continues to hold the remarkable distinction of being the only state to have become fully organic so far. The countrywide figures show that the 78 million hectares covered under organic farming in the country is about 2% of the 140.1 million hectares of the net sown area in the country. And if we look at worldwide statistics, India ranks 8th in terms of world's organic agricultural land and 1st in terms of total number of producers. So what do these figures indicate and how significant are they in steering India towards an organic sustainable future is what we will analyze on the show today with a distinguished panel of experts who are joining us virtually on the program today. It is my pleasure to welcome on the show Dr.Tarun Bajaj. He is Director of the Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, the APeda. Dr. S. Anbalagan, CEO, Sikkim Organic Farming Development Agency, the Government of Sikkim. And Mr. Yella Reddy, he is founder of the Ahaara Yoga Natural Private Limited, Telangana. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on Sansad Television. Dr. Bajaj, allow me to begin the program today with you. So, worldwide, according to available statistics, we are seeing that organic farming is on the rise. And particularly if we talk about India, the area of cultivable land under organic farming has seen a significant increase in recent decades. Also, the number of organic producers in India are the highest in the world. What factors, according to you, have attributed to this rapid expansion and this significant increase, both on the production side and also on the consumption side?
Tina, I would say the main, of course, the driving seat is economy and demand. Because the demand of organic produce is increasing world over, even in India also, if you see the domestic market, the demand for organic produce is increasing day by day. And just to give you a figure, I think India, we are growing at a CAGR 23% as far as exports are concerned, and the domestic market is growing at the CAGR 28%. And we are expecting this will grow 35% CAGR in the coming times, and almost as far as domestic is concerned. And in the international market, we are likely to grow at 28% CAGR. Now, at the same time, the concern is also growing about the soil, about the health, about the sustainability, and also a better value realization to the farmers. So all these factors collectively are leading to growth in this organic sector day by day in India and internationally also.
Absolutely. And there are tremendous opportunities, of course, in terms of health benefits, in terms of environment benefits. So we'll discuss all of that in due course of the program. But coming to you, Dr. Anbalagan, Sikkim, even after 5 years, continues to enjoy the distinction of being the only state in the country that is fully organic. So how has this period of transition been? What kind of impact has it had on the people, particularly the farmers?
Thank you, Ms. Teena. In fact, Sikkim has been holding that position for quite some time now of being the first completely certified organic. It's not just organic, it's certified organic state, where the entire agricultural area is certified organic. In fact, this program was launched to support the farmers who have been, in fact, practicing agriculture that is close to nature. So in order to support them with business opportunities, certification has been done of all the agricultural land. And there has been huge support for this since it all began. And we have now shifted focus towards commercialization of the commodities. The first plan was to become organic, and we have shifted our focus towards creating a value chain through which the farmers are going to benefit.
Okay, and is the state also helping other states in adopting better sustainable farm practices?
Yes, we do. We do help various other states. In fact, officials from many states have visited us to learn from our experiences. And it is not only the other states of the country, but from other countries as well. There has been requests from countries like Bhutan, Nepal, and we are supporting them with our experiences. Some countries also approaching us for assistance.
Okay, so what are the kind of challenges that you've also must have faced? I'm sure the farmers would have seen in this period of transition. That will come back to you, Dr. Anbalagan, to understand. But coming to you, Mr. Reddy, I was going through your website and I read that your company's vision says you aim to help consumers make healthier and better choices while buying products. So share with us and our viewers how you work to improve people's lives.
Yeah, madam. Thank you, madam. So, see, actually, now India has a right opportunity. As of now, India is only main focusing from the last 50 to 70 years on agriculture. That is almost 60%. So, particularly for that area, which is more potentiality, and now we have an opportunity of converting or diverting all the farmers and the consumers towards the organic, so which is lack because of this confidence and trust in between consumers. So where the farmers and the Indian agriculture sector got a very good opportunity in making this more competitive. So for all these resources and for the information, main criteria in the whole world doesn't have as much as resources we have. Say example, the soil which we have in India is more capability and more fertility and has more opportunity in preparing or producing best quality of the agriculture crops. So, and when we convert this agriculture sector into organic, so where only India can produce the best quality and the safe food that is chemical free, the organic food. So, for which the whole world is looking for, because they have everything except the trusted and the safe food. So this gap can be filled by only the Indians and the Indian agriculture sectors, because in India is full of resources of farmers. If a person, we allow them to learn agriculture, they can learn in a month and they can become a good farmer. So such kind of opportunities we have in India. So that's the main base to fill this gap of the whole world market. And so now main focus, and we need to focus on what is exactly strength of India. The strength of India lies on what we have in the resources. So that is called the soil and the agriculture sector. For example, so in Arab countries, they have more, they depend on petroleum. From them, they want the economic sources. But India so doesn't look like this. And the Europe countries, they want to look for going for tourism department. So they earn money from tourism. And the US, they go for technology. The China kind of countries, they go for cheap products. But where India only has an kind of opportunity to go for best food in the organic food, the whole world is looking for that.
Absolutely. So there are tremendous opportunities, and with innovation, with better research, all of this can be realized. Coming back to you, Mr. Bajaj, to understand the host of challenges that we face towards this organic journey. So despite merits like sustainability, benefits to the environment, and also benefits to the health of the people, there are several challenges, particularly from the producer's perspective, if we talk about. So if you could share with us a list of challenges that the farmers face who are especially in the phase of convention from moving towards organic farming from conventional farming.
Before talking challenges, Teena, I would also, take back to the journey when this was started in 2001, when National Program for Organic Production was launched by the then Honorable Prime Minister. At that time, there were 1,000 hectares of land, and now we have 42 lakh hectares of land. At that time, the produce was 13 million, and now exports, and now we have over 1 billion exports. So, and now we have 16 lakh farmers. I'm talking National Program for Organic Production. And same, I think, that 14 to 15 lakhs we have another PGS program. Likewise, this journey from what we started and where are we now? We had equivalency with European Union, Switzerland, we have conformity assessment with the USA, and we were probably the only country at that time in 2010-11 who introduced complete traceability, web-based traceability for the organic produce. We were probably the first one in the world who introduced this system. So this journey has many accomplishments also. Of course, there were challenges and there are challenges. Now, first challenge, of course, comes is because in the organic, from convention to organic, there is a transition period. It depends either 2 years or 3 years, and that itself is a challenge. Sometimes farmers also say that during the transition periods, there is loss of yield. Of course, with proper capacity building, with proper inputs, and also pest management, these yield can also be controlled. Thirdly, convincing a farmer to come to this stage also takes time, but when they, after that produce, they get premium for their produce, they get encouraged. Initially, we also had a problem. The first 2-3 years, there was also some encouragement from Agriculture Ministry for for starting organic. Once the incentive is stopped, they immediately went back to convention. Of course, now we have overcome those challenges. Today, the challenges are in different sense because now we are negotiating MRAs, mutual recognition with the countries. What is happening is, of course, we have equivalency with the European Union, with Switzerland, with of course, with the USA, and now we are negotiating with other countries also. This mutual recognition is very important. What happens is now, in the absence of that, in some of the countries, of course, they are accepting our produce and they're accepting our certification, but otherwise, it is certified in India, then there is recertified in the importing country. This leads to additional cost, additional compliance, additional hassle. Yes. To reduce this, now the most important is we are entering into mutual recognitions, negotiating with the countries, mutual recognition so that we recognize their certification process, they recognize our certification process. And important part is that encouraging farmers, capacity building of the farmers, this is also important. And equally important is capacity building and also telling them what kind of a produce you should go, how to do organic farming. Maybe from single crop you have to go to multiple crop. Maybe from a crop rotation one has to go. So all these are now we are growing. So I just want to say from the initial hiccups, we have now lead to a stage where now there is an expansion, there is a growth, and likely challenges are there which we are facing and overcoming. Those challenges with the help of Agriculture Ministry, ICR institutes.
Absolutely.
And,
so what are the government initiatives to overcome these challenges? I'll come back to you and understand in the final round of questions, but let me come back to Dr. Anbalagan. So loss of yield has perhaps been the biggest setback when it comes to transition from conventional to organic farming. So was it a problem that was faced by producers in Sikkim as well? And what is the kind of government support that they received to overcome this obstacle and then finally become fully organic?
Yeah, in fact, this has been a concern with farmers worldwide regarding the conversion, during the conversion process. So there is a feeling that yield reduces when there is a conversion from conventional system to the organic system. But in Sikkim, this was not the case. The reason for that is that in Sikkim, the farmers have been practicing low input agriculture or hill agriculture or rain-fed agriculture. So the yield in these areas, which even applies to other Himalayan region or the hilly states, is that they are naturally low in production. They have very lesser productivity than the other parts of the country because of the low input agriculture. So when the transition happened from conventional farming system to organic farming system, the yield reduction was not observed. There was no significant yield reduction in case of Sikkim because of these reasons. Because we used very little chemical inputs even when the Green Revolution was on. So the conversion from one system to another did not bring about a reduction in yield. For instance, if you take some statistics, the farmers of Sikkim were using very little chemical inputs. That is only 1/10 of the national average when the organic program started. All started in about, let's say, in 2003, and the government started educating the farmers. At that point in time, we were using only about, say, 10 kg per hectare of chemical inputs, fertilizers. Whereas at that point in 2003, the national average was about 80, 90, 100 kg. So we were using very little chemical inputs, and the transition did not affect the productivity of the crops.
Okay.
So it became easy for us to convince the farmers because they were already practicing agriculture that was close to organic, and the transition did not affect the farmers much.
Okay. Mr. Reddy, so these were concerns from the production point of view. But when we talk about the consumption side, customer confidence is of utmost importance. So what are the concerns related to packaging, related to marketing, and to building that kind of confidence among the customers, among the consumers of these products?
Is the question for me?
No, Mr. Reddy.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, madam. Yeah, actually, so that's what exactly the point I was raising. So first of all, the educated is looking for a confidence. He is in a dilemma. He's in a confusion. So what is exactly organic and where I can buy it, and is it safe or not? So whether I can trust them or not. So this is what exactly that the confusion in their minds. So we need to have such a system by which they can be more confident and buying. And so connectivity is more important. Say example. So the consumption production opportunity, why the farmers is not converting or not diverting into conventional to organic is just because of the market opportunity, market connectivity. So because of, if say example, we have started Ahaara yoga, so which is just started 5 years back. And when I was return journey from USA, so working in the software, so where I just started and connected to the hundreds of people, started buying from them. So immediately, so they have connected me, and so because of the price, they need only the price. I mean, if they are getting a good price or good amount of from the same 1 acre of land, so they definitely convert into organics without any hesitation, because they are farmers, just they want economics. I mean, cash. So immediately after production, so if they are getting the good price compared to convention and the organics, so without any hesitation, so there will be any doubt or any hesitation, so they will definitely convert into organic.
Okay, Dr. Bajaj, so we've spoken about the factors that have contributed to this rapid expansion, also along with the opportunities, the challenges that persist even today. What is the way forward? Because when we talk about the way ahead, our vision by 2025 is to have at least 10% of our cultivable land under organic farming. So what are the kind of efforts, the kind of push that will be required in the coming years?
Efforts are required by all the stakeholders. In fact, the topmost effort will be to have the required infrastructure, both at the farm level and also most important is to now go for value addition. Expansion in the value addition. Value addition is going to be the key. We have to now focus and accelerate our value addition infrastructure. Similarly, at the same time, we have to ensure that the quality is not compromised. Also, the regulation part is there, the compliance part, because organic 50% is it is the produce and the 50% is integrity. You cannot make out by seeing a produce whether it is organic or not organic from the visual impact. It is not easy. It is actually the certification, is the third party guarantee, which says, yes, it is organic. That gives a guarantee to the buyer and that the label claim is correct and it is. So integrity is the 50% of the organic process, the complete process which is certified by the independent third party agency. That has to be strengthened. And as I said, at international level, we have to ensure that we have more and more mutual recognitions with the importing countries so that the imports by the importing countries are hassle-free. In the domestic market, you asked the question just now, and the important part is, before 2017, there were no regulations in India. There were regulations as far as exports were concerned, but in India, there were no regulations. In 2017, Food Safety Standards Authority of India, under their act, have notified that organic, if somebody wants to claim organic, it has to be either National Program for Organic Production or Participatory Guarantee Scheme of Ministry of Agriculture. If these processes are followed, then only they can claim organic. Otherwise, except when the farmer is selling directly to the consumer, that is only exempted. Rest, in the packaged food, everybody wants to claim organic, they have to follow either of the two systems for domestic purposes. For exports, it is only National Program for Organic Production. Lot of efforts and all the convergence with all the agencies are required. Ministry of Agriculture is continuously working towards this. Then they have a budget also. They have schemes. They are encouraging. The organization which I represent, APeda, we also have a scheme. We give benefits, financial assistance schemes are there for improving the infrastructure. And the important part is branding, promotion. Brand India, which is very required. We have a trust, a confidence we have in the international community about Indian National Program for Organic Production. And that is labeled as one of the trusted program of the world. So that we have to encash, we have to brand India, promote and ensure that we reach to every corner of the world. Today we have over 1 billion. Last year we got 51% increase, and this year also we are seeing increase approximately 25 to 30%, and we are likely to have more increase also. And this CAGR, as I said, around 28% in exports and 35% in domestic market will lead us to a multi-fold expansion in both in the domestic market and at the international market.
Absolutely. Very valid point, Dr. Anbalagan, that the outreach in terms of, reaching out to every nook and corner of the world, availability and affordability, of course, looking at the domestic market. But wouldn't you agree that when it comes to organic industry in our country, the domestic market hasn't been tapped to its full potential? So what is the kind of roadmap that would be required to fasten this process and to realize the vision of tapping the full potential of our domestic organic industry?
Yeah, in fact, there is a huge domestic market for organic products. In fact, that has not been exploited or explored, which we should create a roadmap. Basically, if enough awareness is created among the consumers, I think the demands would be fulfilled. In fact, there is a huge demand, and the supply matching supply may not be there. So if we were to talk about the domestic market, let aside the international market. So on the one side, we have huge demands, and on the other side, we have organic products, and the gap lies in between. Producers are there, consumers are there. We just need to link them up through various programs and addressing all the issues faced by the stakeholders.
Absolutely. So there have been efforts made in recent years, but more and more push is required in the coming times to realize the full potential of our organic industry. the domestic as well as reach out to the international markets as well. With those remarks, I'll have to call it a wrap on this edition of Perspective. Thank you to all my guests for joining me on the program today and sharing your thoughts with us and our viewers. Pleasure having you on the program. So that's it from us on Perspective today. Thanks very much for your time. We'll see you again same time tomorrow.